what does manhood mean to you?
And again, first of all, just thank you so much. You have an infectious smile, and this is an important conversation. Manhood is really standing up for society. Manhood is really about giving back. To whom much is given, much is expected. And so obviously, my dad knew in March with Dr. King, I grew up with that foundation. But I've learned, and actually as a pastor and the president of university, I've actually really learned that that manhood comes, the more humble you are, the more you give back, the more powerful a man you become.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of King Crush Thursday, the series where we highlight and uplift Black men, because frankly, not too many people are doing it. My name is Val Gay, and I'm super excited about this brother today. Let's see, he has done so many things. He is the president of Centenary University. He is the pastor of Covenant United Methodist Church, and he comes from a long line of civil rights activism. His father, in fact, Reverend Gilbert Caldwell, marched arm in arm with Dr. Martin Luther King on several of those marches. His name is Dr. Dale Caldwell. Hi, Dr. Caldwell.
Hello, how are you? Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you are here. And it is so wonderful to talk to you because in this conversation, we are putting one more little wedge in the window, in the door, to open up the narrow and very myopic view of Black men in the world, not just America, in the world. We see in the media a very small sliver of our community, and we know that there are so many more narratives out there. As one brother poetically put it, 95% of us are doing the right thing. We're taking care of our families. We are upholding our communities. But sadly, 95% of the media goes to that other 5%. And so we are looking to expand what we see in the Black community. And so ultimately, my goal is for a young king who may or may not have positive Black male role models to come to this repository, see the same 6 questions answered now by well over 150 successful and positive Black men, and hopefully find guidance there. And then for the rest of us who are neither male or even Black, for us to be able to have our minds expanded so that ultimately you will be able to just be in your full humanity without any other stuff following you. And so with that, I'm so glad that you are here today. And I'm going to get started with the first question, which is, what does manhood mean to you?
And again, first of all, just thank you so much. You have an infectious smile, and this is an important conversation. Manhood is really standing up for society. Manhood is really about giving back. To whom much is given, much is expected. And so obviously, my dad knew in March with Dr. King, I grew up with that foundation. But I've learned, and actually as a pastor and the president of university, I've actually really learned that that manhood comes, the more humble you are, the more you give back, the more powerful a man you become. And yet society is very much the opposite. It's really that, the louder you are, the more arrogant you are, the better. But that really is a small person. And that we are just blessed. And I often say, but for the grace of God, I'd be homeless on the street. So that it's important for me to be blessed, to be thankful for every day, every second that I have.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Thank you so much. So, Dr. Caldwell, who and or what is important to you?
Well, I have a daughter, a 19-year-old daughter. She's going to be a junior at Rutgers, and so obviously my daughter is my greatest accomplishment in life. But I also feel that and I get this from my dad, is that we're the wealthiest country in the history of the world, yet we have so much poverty. We have so many people struggling in life. We have so much emotional challenges and trauma. And so it's important for me to really be someone that is, become the change that you want to make. And that change is to really use entrepreneurship to really grow and empower people who are struggling economically to really be their best selves.
That is really wonderful. Excellent. Thank you. So, Dr. Caldwell, how do you want us to see you?
Well, I think I want to be seen as someone who was very fortunate and very blessed. I mean, I had an opportunity because my parents sacrificed. I went to Princeton undergrad. I got a doctorate, or I got my MBA from the Wharton School. I got my doctorate from Seton Hall. I've been the leader of school boards for 30 years, and I'm president of a university and pastor of a church. And none of that is because I'm special. It's because other people have really. So I want them to see me as someone who has been successful because of the people, the shoulders I'm standing on, but who's using whatever success I have to really make a difference in society. That's what I want people to see, as Dale cared about really making this world a better place.
You had a way with words. This is great. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's really wonderful. And so question 4 is, Dr. Caldwell, what is your epic dream?
There are a lot of dreams, but I have this dream, and we're coming close to it, is that, and people don't talk much about this, but soon, because of AI and technology, language will not be a barrier. And so one of the things that I've started and we're kind of reinvigorating is this thing called the middle class movement. They really build on the civil rights movement. The idea is for people around the world to really be challenging through economics, through democratic capitalism, to really grow. And so my dream is this middle class movement where people are moving. And what is middle class? Middle class are really people that can pay their basic bills every month. It's not a number. It's not a class. It's really about that. And so as society, my dream is that people will be able to pay their basic bills every month and then contribute to society and live the life that God's prepared for all of them.
That's really wonderful. That's really wonderful. You have been answering question 5 implicitly all along, but I'm going to ask you explicitly. Dr. Dale Caldwell, who are you?
I am someone that is truly grateful. I think the foundation of who I am is really being grateful. One of the things I get scared of is believing my resume. Those people that believe that you're as good as you are on paper, where you went to school, what you're doing. And I really believe that I'm very grateful, and I really get a high from helping people. I really, and a lot of people think it's not because I want any recognition or anything, but I'm someone that really gets. I have a deep empathy, and so I can kind of feel. If someone tells me they went on a trip to Tahiti and so on, and you looked at my brain pattern, I could really feel. So I'm someone that really has empathy for other people in a very, very deep way. I also feel other people's pain as well. And so I think that's who I am at the core.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you so much. So here we are already at question 6, which is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't, or you wanted me to ask you that I didn't? In other words, what did I miss?
Well, and you didn't miss anything. Your questions are wonderful, but one of the things that I think we have to talk about is I've written 8 books, but a number of books. One of the book is called Intelligent Influence, and I really write books to learn. And the reality is that we do what we do, think the way we think, and accomplish what we accomplish because of influence. And so people don't really understand the power of influence in society. It's that how we do and what we do is important, but how we're viewed. And so as you open this, the influence about what a Black man is, the influence of what the Black community is. And we need to be very sensitive about those external influences. And so one of the things I have on my wall, I have a friend, actually a Jewish woman whose dad was in Auschwitz, and he was rescued by a Black troop. And so she's really been very sensitive to issues in Black America. And they had purchased actually a bill of sale of Jane Hammond and her 2 kids. And so there's a slave bill of sale. And I show that to a lot of my students that come in that use the N-word to understand that we were bought and sold, like a car years ago. And above it, I just bought the signed picture of Obama's inauguration, and to really see that slavery to the inauguration. And so we need to really think about the influences. And this is the thing, that the message that I leave to folks that watch this is think about how you've been influenced and how you're influencing other people. Using the N-word is a negative influence. Dressing, calling people hoes and these kinds of things. And I love music. I love every kind of music. But we've got to be much more conscious about the influence that we give off and that is influencing us. When you do that, what happens is you begin to live your true self, and you become, again, the child that God is calling you to be, because you're focused on really making sure that positive influence is who you are.
Mm-hmm. That's powerful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I am so grateful that you are in this world. I am grateful. And on behalf of your students, thank you so much for your work. It's really wonderful to hear the things that you've said, and thinking about the middle class, thinking about how we as individuals can become better ourselves and to contribute to the world, and how we think differently. And so I'm just so grateful that you were here, and I honor you, Mike King. I pray that God will make your epic dream come true sooner rather than later, and that you will continue to ever evolve into who you were designed to be. And I'm so grateful that you were here today to contribute to this repository.
Well, thank you for what you're doing, for your compassion, your genuine warmth, and I'm honored to be part of this. Happy to help out any way I can. So be well and God bless.
Thank you so much. And stay right there, because I want to thank the audience for joining us. I do hope that you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. And if there's a positive and successful Black man in your life who you want to hear from and see highlighted in this forum, please click the link below or in my bio, fill out the nomination form, and we'll take it from there. That's exactly how we met Dr. Caldwell today. So this is so wonderful. So I always say, too, the success does not mean what a person does for a living. Mm-hmm. I really don't care what the man does for a living, as long as I've learned to say these 2 things. 1 is legal, and 2 is not hurt anybody. Those 2 things are not necessarily mutually exclusive, or they can go together. So please, because the reality is, we, just as Dr. Caldwell talked about the bill of sale, not everyone has had the opportunity to live out their full potential. And so we are not limiting, quote unquote, success to that, how they earn money, but what is the content of their character and how do they contribute to their society, starting with the nuclear family and spreading out to the rest of the community writ large. Those are the brothers that we also want to hear from and contribute to this repository. So please, next week, stay tuned for yet another amazing king. And please remember to spread love and have a great day. Thank you so much. And Dr. Caldwell, thank you so much. That was really wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.